Hello and welcome back to RixFlix, and welcome back to another episode of Rikipedia. But before we begin, we publish theme park videos on this channel all the time, so hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you'll know when another video is ready for you to view. Breaking into Gringotts Bank is impossible. Breaking out of it, well, that is even harder. Come along with us as we tell you everything you need to know about the Harry Potter and Escape from Gringotts attraction. Escape from Gringotts is part dark ride, part indoor steel roller coaster. It was designed by Universal Creative and built by Intamin, a roller coaster manufacturer that has built several other roller coasters for Universal Studios. It utilizes roller coaster track, 3D movie screens, and 3D goggles to take you on a Wizarding World of Harry Potter adventure. And now for the particulars of this attraction. Escape from Gringotts is located in the London section of Universal Studios, specifically at Gringotts Bank inside of Diagon Alley. It opened on July 8th, 2014. It is an indoor steel roller coaster utilizing drops, spins, and launches. The ride duration is about 5 minutes. The track length is about 2,000 feet. The max vertical angle is 50 degrees. There are 0 inversions on this coaster, and there is no information on the top speed. I would guess top speed to be anywhere between 25 and 30 miles per hour at its fastest 2 sections, which would be the very first drop and the launch at the end of the ride. Riders must be at least 42 inches in height to ride Escape from Gringotts. Those under 48 inches need a supervising companion that is over 48 inches. There are 11 trains with 2 cars. Riders are arranged 4 across in 3 rows for a total of 24 riders per train. The Universal Express Pass is available for this ride, as well as a single rider line and a child swap area. Please note that this ride employs safety restraints that may restrict certain guests from riding due to body shape and size. So I strongly recommend that if you think you're in jeopardy of not fitting on this ride, to try the test cart, which is located outside the ride entrance right before you walk into the queue. Before we start talking about the queue and the ride itself, the ride experience, let's give you a little bit of history regarding this ride. On December 2nd, 2011, Universal announced the closure of the Jaws attraction located at Universal Orlando. 4 days later, on December 6th, Universal leadership confirmed a significant expansion would take place over the retired Jaws attraction. Then, on January 2nd, 2012, the Jaws attraction closed forever, and soon afterwards, they started tearing it down to get ready to build the new attraction. It wasn't until May 8th, 2013 that Universal announced what the replacement for Jaws would be, and that it would be an addition to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in the form of London and Diagon Alley. On January 23rd, 2014, it was announced that Diagon Alley would have an attraction called Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. The new ride opened on July 8th, 2014, along with the rest of Diagon Alley, including a fire-breathing dragon that sits atop of Gringotts. Fun fact, that fire-breathing dragon shoots out fire, and that dragon breath reaches a temperature of 3,560 degrees Fahrenheit. Since the Escape from Gringotts attraction and all of Diagon Alley sits on top of the old Jaws attraction, there are many tributes to the sharp-toothed fella. What I'll do is I'll put a link to a previous video I did called Finding Jaws at Universal, so you can see all the details of those tributes, but for this video, here's just a few highlights. Outside of the record shop in London, near that red phone booth, there is a record display, a window display that shows a record that gives tribute to Jaws because it is a song called Here's to Swimmin' with Bow-Legged Women. Now this is a song that is sung in the movie by the three main characters. Also, throughout Diagon Alley, there are some shark jaws actually in some of the stores. Specifically, I know of a pair that are in Bergen & Berks. And then my favorite tribute of all to Jaws is the Shrunken Heads in Nocturne Alley. They sing one of the songs from the movie, Show Me the Way to Go Home. This is a pretty good scene in the movie when the three characters are waiting for Jaws, and this is one of the songs they are singing as they're drinking, waiting to capture the shark.
Show me the way to go on side and a woman go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it's gone right through my head.
Then of course there is the urban legend told by some team members that one of the old mechanical sharks from the old attraction is actually buried underneath Nocturne Alley. Remember to check out that Finding Jaws video after you're done watching this one. And now on to the queue of Escape from Gringotts. The queue begins as you enter the Gringotts Wizarding Bank lobby. To the left and to the right are animatronic goblin bank tellers. These are some of the finest theme park animatronics created. The head teller greets you and asks if you want to open an account.
Here to open an account? Very well. Move along to the security office to have your Gringotts identification photo taken. Then proceed to the large office at the end of the corridor, where an assistant will prepare you for your first visit to the vaults.
The lobby is one of the most eye-popping elements of this queue. It features tall ceilings, tall columns, and 4 massive chandeliers. The 4 chandeliers that hang in the lobby contain a combined 62,000 crystals. After the lobby, we head down to the vaults. There are some green screen photo stations in this section of the queue that serve as a quote-unquote security checkpoint for you to have your photo taken before you're allowed to enter the vaults. But really, if you want a photo of your experience in Gringotts, this is what you would do. You would take a picture in those green screens and then you would get your photo. After getting clearance, you will pass by tables laid out with issues of the Daily Prophet newspaper that display prominent headlines from the film series. Then you'll continue down a corridor lined with offices that are used by the Goblin Bank employees. As part of the backstory for this ride, in one of the offices, we can see silhouettes of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Hermione is disguised as Bellatrix, and the three can be heard plotting to break into the vaults to retrieve some unknown item. Continuing in the queue from here, we enter Bill Weasley's office, where a pre-ride scene is performed. Again, this is building that backstory for the ride you're about to get on.
What was that? The Weasley's Wildfire Whiz-Bangs. Firework from my brother's friend George. George, what are you doing here? This is my office, Crawdad. Actually, if you don't mind, I'll join you on your tour. We can all leave together. I'll meet you at your cart.
But what are we talking about? Let's get moving.
After this pre-ride show, we're then directed towards the vaults. After exiting the office, we will wait at the vault elevator. While we're waiting, a moving portrait of a goblin explains the safety precautions for the ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, a wild cart ride awaits you. Be warned, it is not for everyone. Muggles might describe the journey to the vaults as a high-speed roller coaster ride with sudden and dramatic acceleration, climbing, stopping and diving. Even some in the magical community find the ride a bit challenging.
These are not real elevators. They are just a themed element to give you the illusion that you're descending hundreds of feet into the vaults. After exiting the elevator, we'll go pick up our 3D goggles and head up the stairs to the ride loading station. All great information, but what about the ride? We want to know about the ride. Well, I'm going to tell you about the ride. After we board the carts, which by the way, I do want to mention, the third row of the carts are more suited for larger people. The carts then move along the track to the first scene. In the first scene, security alarms go off as Gringotts has detected a security breach. and then the bank goes into lockdown. Bellatrix then appears after being notified of an imposter infiltration and decides to torture us by cutting off the track and tilting it downward by 50 degrees. The cart then drops, speeding you downward for what is probably the biggest thrill of this ride.
Well, let's try for another.
To save us from this drop, Bill Weasley casts the spell Arresto Momento, and then Harry and Ron and Hermione show up, having emerged from the thief's downfall. Their cart then drops from a high altitude as security trolls climb up, knocking them off of it. One of these daft and brutal trolls then grabs our cart and spins us away to the next scene. Now this is one of the most fun aspects of the ride, this little spinning section, and it's going to lead to another really fun section of the ride. One of the trolls then throws its mace at your cart, but it misses and bounces back and hits another troll. That troll then begins to fall, and as it's falling, it grabs our cart, and through the magic of the 3D screen, we begin falling downward. To stop our fall, luckily Bill Weasley is there again with Arresto Momento. Moments after that, the dragon shows up with that fire breath and sprays it directly at our cart. To save us from that, Bill uses the spell Aguamente, and what happens then is that the water puts out the fire that the dragon is breathing at us, and it splashes us as well with a little bit of water, and this usually gets a pretty fun reaction from the people in the cart. Bill then uses the spell Wingardium Leviosa to send us on our way to the next scene, which will be inside the vaults. After entering the vault, the walls come crashing down and Nagini appears in an attempt to attack us. This is probably the best 3D sequence of the ride, and it usually gets a very good reaction from the crowd. Then Bellatrix and Voldemort show up and they confront us, asking us questions about our knowledge of the whereabouts of Harry Potter. This scene and the very next scene after this is the only two times in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter that we get to see the Dark Lord himself, so be sure to enjoy it. In the very next scene, we are in a lava-filled chamber deep inside the vaults. Again, Bellatrix and the Dark Lord show up to try to extract information from us by giving us a dose of pain to help us remember. So what Voldemort does is he conjures up this fireball and he throws it at us. But before it could hit us, Ron, Hermione, and Harry show up on the back of a dragon, breathing its own fire to negate Voldemort's fire, thus saving us. At this point, the dragon and Ron and Harry and Hermione start attacking Voldemort, so he and Bellatrix apparate away. After Bellatrix and the Dark Lord apparate away, Hermione uses a spell to chain our cart to the dragon. This is where the launch section of the roller coaster occurs. We are shot out of the vaults. After the launch section, there's a bit of a spin section, which creates another kind of thrilling aspect of this ride. Then comes the final scene with Bill Weasley, Ron Weasley, Harry, and Hermione, and this is when we're asked if we still want to open an account at Gringotts, because after all, it is still the safest place on Earth. We then pull into the unload station. With our ride being complete, congratulations, we have now escaped Gringotts. So there you go, guys, everything you need to know about Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts attraction. Check it out the next time you're visiting the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Well, congratulations guys, you made it to the end of another video, and if you made it this far, can I ask you to go a little further, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell notification button, and if you want to support the channel a little bit more, go ahead and visit our coffee page. And with all that being said, don't miss the magic, don't miss the fun. Thanks for watching RixFlix, and now it's time to relax. In today's video, I would like to thank our supporters on Patreon, starting with our executive producers: Candace McBride, Randall Rittenberry, Hank Spalding, Andrew Bundle, U.S. Storm Shelters, Joshua Rush, the Luke family, Catherine and Daddy Dave, Wayne Fitzpatrick, Elizabeth McCletchney, Brett and Carla W., Michelle and Paul R., Jeff Howard, David Heiser, Matthew Sargent, Tom Elridge, the A-Team, Allie and AJ, Chad and Michelle, Kayla Cox, Warren and Don Kulo, Neil Whitaker, Anita and Jim, Angelina Twazer, Sonia Tucci, Brandon Anders, and James Cletus. And now to thank our regular Patreon producers, Larry Gans, Michelle, Shane Morrow, the Perez family, Desi, Adam Kazanecki, Armando Covelli, John Andine, Sherry South, TJ and Shannon, Will Antico, Brett and Mindy West, Ben Van Litt, Andreas Martinez, Craig Conley, James Conley, Shania Rassman, Chloe White, Daniel Oberbecker, Bree and AJ, Jess Melandro, Jose Reyes, Hawthorne, Jeffrey and Mugga, Cameron Alder, Nicole Bergstein, Matt Weaver, Rob Racer 66, Ash Gothier, Ricardo Justin, Josh Grabiak, Kiss My, John W. Gosby, and Stephen Brodude.